couple of people actually scored exactly the median of 4 drinks for the total sample size of 45. And the way SPSS treats those equalities is to actually make them less than or equal the median. So those people are going to be lower. So I need to convert these values into zeros and ones, or any value really, but I'm going to choose zeros and ones. So anyone that scored less than the median 4 is going to be equal to 0. So anyone who's equal, basically any negative value is going to get a 0, and any positive value is going to get a 1. Whereas those that scored 0 are also going to get a negative value. So how do I do that? Well, I go into transform, and I'm going to record into a different variable. So go into difference, and I'm going to call it difference below above. And I'm going to calculate those as anyone who's lower than negative 0.00001. So anyone lowest through to negative 0.0001 is going to get a 0. And then anyone higher, ranges value through to highest, anyone equal 0.0000, whoops. Actually, I could do it I'll do it this way, but I could do it the other way, which actually I could just say anyone equal to 00. Actually, I did this a little bit wrong, but I'll fix it up in a second. So anyone higher than 0001 through to highest is going to get a 1. Now, what we get is nothing for these two people. I could have said anyone equal to 0 and higher gets a 0, because SPSS says anyone equal to the median is a less than or equal to. So I'm actually going to give my equals a 0. I could have done my recode better to actually get that. I could have just said anyone equal to 0 and above is equal to 0, and anyone greater is a 1. Anyway, I kind of screwed that up, but you get the meaning of what I've just done in terms of the recodes. So now I've got these recodes, and I could actually specify them, gives them some labels. So anyone equal to 0 is less than or equal to median, and anyone with a 1 is greater than the median. Okay, and now I could actually do a crosstabs analysis based on this variable and my grouping variable. And if there's a difference, we'll actually see that the chi-square is equal to the same as the median test. So I go into group. So how did SPSS put that? It put the groups into the columns and the drinks into, so groups into columns and difference into rows. So let's hope that actually gives me what I want. Statistics, I want my chi-square value, and I want my estimate of effect size, phi and Cramer's V. So I click on OK. And I, in fact, get exactly the same chi-square value. I've done a chi-square on my grouping by lower and higher, above and below variable that I created, and I get 8.715 as a Pearson Chi-Square, which is equal to the same chi-square that I obtained based on the median test, because they're in fact the same test. That's what the test is. And we can see that my observations are also here with 10, 3, and 10, 5, 12, 5 rather. And we can see that location 1 and location 3 are in fact the same observations. They're flipped. You'd have to flip them across to get exactly the same table as we got in the median test, but basically the same information. And importantly, I got my phi and my Cramer's V for an estimate of effect size. And effect size is very important to interpret. Even in a median test, you can estimate the effect size, but you don't get it when you calculate it as the median test, even though you could use this chi-square. I believe you just have to divide the chi-square by n and then get the square root, and that will give you the phi or Cramer's V, which is equal to the same in this design with only 2 levels in one of your independent variables. So getting back to the question of, well, what if I want to look also at my post hoc testing?